This week on Tomo, we're covering the 13 dumbest criminals. Let's get started. Coming up first at number 1.
Man lights joint, spreads feces on wall of police station. Carlin Higgs was up to his usual shit-nanigans on December 14th. With his extensive criminal history, Higgs was already a familiar face at the Upper Darby, Delaware police station. But Higgs shocked the shit out of everyone when he started smoking marijuana in the lobby of the station. Higgs was promptly arrested, and that's when shit really hit the fan. The police threw Higgs into a jail cell, and that's when he dumped it on them. And just when they thought he was done, he squeezed out a bit more, of insulting behavior that is. Higgs was taken to a mental health facility where they determined he was high on drugs. At least the arresting officer had a sense of humor.
Up next is number 2.
It was Burger King, but these two alleged thieves didn't have it their way. Police say Jeremy Lovett, 23, and Gabriel Gonzalez, 19, ran into a Burger King in Stockton, California and demanded money. While the suspects were robbing the cashier, another BK employee snuck out the back. He noticed that the crook's car was still running, so he drove it around the corner and hid it in a nearby field. When the pair discovered that their car was missing, they panicked and ran to the field. They were arrested shortly thereafter.
Number 3.
Police tracked down wanted ex-con after ALS Ice Bucket Challenge video goes viral. Thug Life 101. If you have warrants, please don't participate in viral internet memes because you're liable to get caught by police. Take 20-year-old Jason Morris, for example. Morris, who was wanted in Omaha for violating his parole, decided to jump on the bandwagon and participate in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. The original video has since been taken down, but not before it went viral. One of Morris's friends who saw the video contacted police, which led them to the house where Morris was hiding out. When police questioned Morris, he gave them a fake name and date of birth. Police took him into custody, but it didn't go quietly. Morris reportedly kicked out the safety partition in the police cruiser and spit on one of the officers. How rude. Morris faces a slew of charges, including assaulting an officer with bodily fluid, criminal mischief, resisting arrest, and criminal impersonation.
Here we are with number 4.
To confess to burglary, please press 1. For other 911 services, press 2.
A group of New Mexico burglars will soon be providing their cellmates with some pretty hearty laughs. After robbing a house in Roswell, the trio just had to get on the phone and discuss their adventure. One robber is heard on a police recording bragging that the house they robbed belonged to her own mother. Police recording, you ask? Well, apparently one of these Mensa members looped 911 into their little conference call. As the conversation/confession continues, one of them can be heard playing Bon Jovi's Wanted, Dead or Alive. Excellent choice of music, guys. Cops got it all on tape, and considering the burglars mentioned the address of the house they robbed plus other helpful info, cops required just 3 donuts to track them down. Yvonne Thyberg, Aaron Burrell, and Marvin Myers were charged with burglary, but charges against Myers were dropped. Was that accidental dial an accident, or perhaps Myers could be a snitch?
Number 5.
Parents burn homeless person with firecrackers and show children. Albuquerque police arrested 2 parents who lit fireworks from their SUV and threw them at a sleeping homeless man, all in the presence of their 3 children aged 12, 10, and 2. On the evening of July 11th, Joshua Benavides and Irene Enriquez drove their purple SUV to the corner of Quincy Street and Silver Avenue with their children. The couple then threw firecrackers at a sleeping homeless person, seriously burning him. When the man fell unconscious, the couple fled. The homeless man, who is Native American, suffered serious burns and remained in intensive care for 2 weeks. After the surveillance video was released, neighbors tipped off Albuquerque police, saying that the couple recently painted their SUV white. The couple initially denied their involvement, but were later arrested on charges of aggravated battery and for letting their children witness their crime. Benavides and Enriquez told Albuquerque police that they were only trying to scare the homeless man, not set him ablaze. But what do you think?
You won't forget this criminal at number 6.
French drug dealer killers try acid, Walter White style. Several young men involved in the distribution of amphetamines in the French city of Toulouse reportedly paid a visit to one of their customers with an outstanding debt. The customer, 23-year-old Eva Brousseau, was a former art history major who lived in this apartment building. But Eva had reportedly dropped out of school after becoming deeply involved with drugs. And when the dealers came calling, she couldn't pay the roughly 6,000 euros she owed. So the men, who may have been under the influence of their product at the time, savagely beat Brousseau to death with a crowbar and brass knuckles. Okay, lesson taught. Now what do we do with the body? Better call Saw, as in a hacksaw they allegedly used to remove her legs before going full Breaking Bad. The men crammed the body into some kind of suitcase or plastic container they purchased following the murder and then attempted to dissolve the woman's body. Over the next 10 days, Walter Not-So-Bright and Jesse Stinkman returned to the apartment to clean up, check on the not very quickly decomposing body, and fumigate the flat with air fresheners, as it had begun to smell like 16th century Paris. None of the reports mention exactly which chemicals these math students turned drug dealers used, but chemicals used for cleaning swimming pools or unclogging drains can do the job, but it takes forever and you kinda gotta know what you're doing. The victim's mother eventually called authorities and firefighters entered the locked apartment through a skylight on August 3rd, where the gruesome scene was discovered. Reports say 4 people were quickly arrested in connection with the murder and dissolving attempt. And, police have plenty of evidence, such as the majority of the victim's body. As, despite what you see on TV, dissolving a body in acid is actually quite difficult. It's called science, bitch!
Topping the middle of our list is number 7.
Robber gets stuck on elevator after stealing old lady's purse. A steak knife-wielding robber is still at large after stealing a 77-year-old woman's purse and then getting trapped in the elevator with his victim. Lorraine Bain came home to her apartment complex in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida on the night of April 29th. As seen in the security camera footage, the thief cornered Bain in the elevator. He held her up with a knife and told her to shush before nabbing her purse, but when he tried to make his escape, the door closed in his face. Tried to push the button for the door to open, but to no avail, so he just casually rode the elevator to the 4th floor and checked the contents of the purse on the way down. Bain asked nicely for the thief to return her phone, but he kept everything and exited the elevator when the door did finally open, fleeing the scene of the crime. The thief has yet to be apprehended by police, but next time he'll probably take the stairs.
Number 8.
Jewelry store heist foiled when owner pulls out a shotgun. While working at Joyera Molina's jewelry store in Fresno, California, this is the weapon that saved No Guzman from would-be robbers. Friday's surveillance footage recorded the wannabe jewelry thieves pacing the store nervously, pretending to show interest in the merchandise. While one suspect asks Guzman about bracelets, the other suspect racked the slide of a handgun behind his partner's back. Forget about bracelets, these amateur thieves were now demanding cash. Guzman said he moved to the side so that his uncle, the store owner, who was in the back with his daughter and grandchild, could see that her robbery was in progress. While making a phone call, the unarmed suspect tries jumping the counter. Haha, we need to see that again. He then finds walking around the counter is easier, but little did he know he'd soon be running. The suspects nearly crap their pants when they see the owner come out of the back with a shotgun. Mr. I Can't Leap Over the Counter hits the floor, then heads for the door. The armed robber looks confused. Should I shoot or should I go now? Looking down the barrel of a shotgun may have led them to question what they've gotten themselves into. The amateurs finally come to their senses and split, probably thankful they didn't catch any lead. Guzman and the owner were happy nobody was hurt and that the perps were caught on camera. Police are still looking to identify the Hispanic suspects who they believe to be about 17 and 21 years of age.
Number 9.
Florida Facebooker arrested after posting drug-related selfie. This is a Facebook photo of Taylor Harrison with 2 sticky icky buds stuffed in his mouth. This is a Facebook photo of Harrison handling a bag filled with drugs next to a police vehicle. And this is a photo of Harrison arriving in Martin County Jail last Thursday. As if selfies aren't dumb enough already. A Port St. Lucie, Florida man was arrested after posting photos of himself handling drugs onto Facebook. Apparently thinking it'd be a good idea to show his buddies how easy it was to deal drugs right under the nose of Martin County authorities, Taylor Harrison reportedly pulled up alongside a deputy's vehicle and whipped out a stack of cash and some drugs before posing for a photo. Well, the sheriff's office decided to give him the publicity he seems to have been craving so bad by posting the photos onto their very own Facebook page, along with a photo of the 20-year-old selling weed to undercover officers and, unsurprisingly, his eventual mugshot.
You'll have to see it to believe it. Here's number 10.
California car thief spray paints himself black to hide from cops. After stealing a vehicle, a California man decided to camouflage himself to hide from authorities by spray painting his face black Saturday evening near Fresno. Jose Espinosa was allegedly driving a stolen car in Madera County when police tried to pull him over. After running from cops, the 23-year-old wanted to disguise himself, so he doused his head and neck with black spray paint. Madera police, however, got word of the stolen vehicle in the area that matched Espinosa's description, but he thought he was fooling everyone with his inappropriate, darker complexion. Little did he realize his camouflage was very ineffective. Cops caught this criminal and booked him on charges of theft. Really, who are you fooling sporting blackface, you idiot?
It's a close call, but you just gotta know about number 11.
Idiot scam artist arrested after handing over his passport to his mark. Meet the dumbest scam artist we've ever come across, Chung Chi-wen. The 25-year-old reportedly used Chinese social media app WeChat to hook up with a college student in the central Taiwanese city of Taichung. When they met up sometime in May, Chung told the 21-year-old he was a construction foreman and asked to borrow roughly $120 as he urgently needed to pay his crew. The naive student, wanting to help, forked over the cash. But give a scam artist an inch and they'll take a light year. After the two spent a steamy night together in a motel, Chung next asked to borrow an additional sum of more than $1,200, promising to pay her back when he received money from his family. This time, however, Chung had the brilliant idea of putting his passport down as collateral, which no doubt came in handy when he disappeared without a trace and the girl, belatedly realizing she'd been had, called the cops. The idiot scammer has since been arrested and charged with deception.
Number 12.
Moron tries to pass off crushed Pop-tart as crack cocaine. Cameron Mitchell, the dumber-than-your-average bear criminal you see before you, had a very idiotic attempt to make a quick buck blow up in his face earlier this summer. The 30-year-old was making a routine convenience store delivery in Halifax, North Carolina in June when he met an undercover agent. Mitchell reportedly agreed to sell the officer crack cocaine despite not having any. So he rushed back to his truck and pulled a MacGyver-like improvisation out of his ass by turning the corner of your average Pop-tart into crack cocaine, which he then sold to the agent. No word yet on what exactly he had to do to prove it was grade A crack rock, though. Regardless, police eventually caught up to Mitchell, who was arrested earlier this month.
And finally, topping our list, number 13.
You call that a knife? Convenience store owner surprises machete-wielding robbers with a sword of his own. Two ninja-clad teens busted into this convenience store on Friday night. They came in brandishing a big machete, thinking the cashier would not hesitate to fork over his cash. But the cashier's brother was also in the shop at the time, and when one of the teens pointed his sword at the man, the cashier immediately pulled out a much bigger sword. And at that point, the tough teen's sword turned as limp as his manhood, and they ran for it. The only thing the brain-damaged duo managed to grab were some t-shirts, which they later dropped anyway. No one got injured, and the wannabe thieves are still on the run. In an interview, the store's cashier showed off the sword he used to scare off the thieves, and said that shop owners aren't soft. He also had this message for those half-baked rude boys out there. Don't try this. You can have money in a better way, not this. Please stay away. Go and find work somewhere.
That was the 13 dumbest criminals. Leave a comment and subscribe if you liked the video and you want to see more videos like this. I'm Dan from Tomo. Thanks for watching.